All right. Welcome back to Healing from Racism, Lessons from the Tao Te Ching. I'm going to jump right into looking at verse 5 of the Tao Te Ching in this video. And it says, "The Tao doesn't take sides. It gives birth to both good and evil. The Master doesn't take sides. She welcomes both saints and sinners. The Tao is like a bellows. It is empty, yet infinitely capable. The more you use it, the more it produces." In my book, Healing from Racism, I discuss how racism creates dualities. And in the reflection based on chapter 1 of the Tao Te Ching, I explored how, after Bacon's rebellion, laws were written to create two categories of people, black and white, and land ownership was used to increase the distance between these two categories of people. Perpetual slavery and material freedom were created in the same moment. Dualities result in an either-or paradigm, and they force a choice upon people. But in this passage of the Tao Te Ching, we read, "The Tao doesn't take sides. It gives birth to good and evil. The Tao is existence. It is both. It is full abundance. Instead of either or, existence is both and." When you begin to understand and embody that both good and evil exist simultaneously, and that often they come into being at the same moment, you begin to find your path towards healing from racism. Both good and evil exist, as do you. Therefore, you do not need to take sides, for it all is. You release the false dualities and embrace the kaleidoscope that is existence. Not either or, rather both and so much more. The verse continues, "The Master doesn't take sides. She welcomes both saints and sinners." Since racism creates dualities, I believe that on this journey to heal from racism, we must expand our capacity to see people's fullness, to see that a person is not their worst moment, nor is another person always happy or at peace. It is the ability to cross the divide that enables you to see that there are people who we believe to be saintly, but who actively contribute to structures that lead to what we know as racism to be today. Are they saints or are they sinners? Who is who? I go back to Pope Nicholas V's letter, the Romanus Pontifex, back in 1455. Who is the sinner and who is the saint in that situation? Who? And now, looking at it back with the grand scheme of history, who is the sinner? Who is the saint? Who's to say? Looking at the dichotomy, it's easy to see how flawed the whole framework of good and evil is, and how much evil actually comes out of a naming. The Pope condemned other people into perpetual slavery, and that is the ultimate damning. But in the process, did he not also damn himself? Does he not become the savage that he purports those people to be? The passage goes on to describe the Tao. The Tao is like a bellows. It is empty, yet infinitely capable. The more you use it, the more it produces. A bellows is a tool used to blow air. It looks like an accordion, kind of teardrop shaped thing that you squeeze and you blow air into the fire and ignite the flame more and feed the flame. In harmony with the Tao, you release the duality and embrace the existence of both good and evil. You do not need to choose. You do not need to put people in tiny boxes that fail to capture the fullness of their being. And when you release these false dualities and forced choices for yourself and for others, you actually fill yourself. By acknowledging that it all exists, you begin to see that there's so much more within you, within others, and all around. And like a bellows, you find yourself infinitely capable. No longer are you caught in the either or bind, wondering, am I good enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I smart enough? Am I popular enough? Am I famous enough? Am I sexy enough? Am I rich enough? Do I have enough? And so on. No, you free yourself of these limiting dualities and discover your fullness. The question becomes, who am I? Who am I becoming? Embracing and embodying the wholeness of existence, you access the field of infinite possibilities. You embrace your wholeness. You begin to flow into what you are called to be. Finally, the last line of verse 5 stands alone and is instructive. Hold on to the center. Everything is held together at the center. And when you tap into the center, you can use whatever you need for any given situation. By creating an either or paradigm, racism binds us. Good, evil, pretty, ugly, right, wrong, deprived, having. But existence is both. It is the kaleidoscope of everything possible. Healing from racism, therefore, is a question of balancing. Balancing by remembering how to use your full capacity to access whatever you need, whatever energy you need to create what you are called to create. It is to live into the full balance of yourself. And with that, I welcome your reflections on this very challenging idea of not taking sides and accepting and embracing the wholeness of existence. To get on the waiting list for my book, see the link in the description below. And with that, I will see you in the next video where I will explore verse 6 of the Tao Te Ching.